Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wrestling City. We are here with our first tier list video. We have been planning on doing this for quite a while now. We've been looking for what we're going to start out with when it comes to the topic. And as we were looking through, we found one that goes through the WrestleMania main events for it. It's not every single WrestleMania, but it does cover the years 2000 through current, so 2023. Uh, so I think that would be what WrestleMania 16 will be the first
Yeah.
one we will be covering.
Mhm.
And it will go all the way up to 39, the ones we saw last year. And we decided with the ranking list, it will be going with amazing, and then there's great, good, mid, and then bad. So yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just go ahead and start when it comes to that.
Mhm.
Um, so our first match is going to be WrestleMania 16, and that was the Fatal Four-Way for the WWF Championship. It was what Triple H, The Rock, Mick Foley, and Big Show. This match was mainly known for it had a McMahon in every corner. I
Yeah.
think it was,
Yeah.
I don't remember who represented who. I do remember that it was Vince, Stephanie, Shane, and Linda were in the
I
match.
think I want to say Shane represented because I was looking at this like this match card poster last night and I think they had like Shane in the Rock's corner. Maybe I'm maybe getting them mixed up, but
Yeah, I remember for sure Linda was for Mick Foley, but
mhm.
Triple H ended up winning this match. He retained. This WrestleMania was kind of just known for it was way overbooked. It didn't have a singles like a one-on-one match on the entire card. It was
Yeah.
all like multi-man, triple threat, fatal four-way tag team matches. And this main event did kind of represent that in a lot of ways. It was a lot going on at once. I mean, obviously, with all the McMahons, all of this going on, it was fun fact. It was originally supposed to have Chris Jericho. He was
Yeah,
the
yeah. I saw
official
that last
announcer,
night
so
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
instead of Big Show, but that ended up, obviously changing. Um, I don't know. Where would you put this? I think I would put this. I'm between mid and bad, but I think I
Yeah.
would put it on. I think I would put it in mid.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, mid is probably the uh right choice. Like, I think that's where it belongs. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't seen that match, but I have seen every event like past that. So like, I've seen
Mhm.
like 17, and but I haven't seen 16 yet. But I'll
Well,
just
yeah, there's
I'll
kind
take
of a
your word
reason you
for it.
haven't. Yeah, it was okay, but I feel like when we're gonna be going through all the rest, there are matches that I feel like it doesn't deserve to be in the same category because the other ones are so much
Mhm.
worse. So I think we should, yeah, put that at mid.
Yeah.
So then up next, WrestleMania 17, obviously one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time.
Hmm.
That had what? The tag team ladder match, that had this match. I think it had what I think this was one with Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, and Chris Benoit. One of the greatest WrestleMania, or at least one of my personal favorite ones of all time. And in
Hmm.
the main event was the first, no, this was the second ever Rock and Stone Cold. But still, everybody, this is one of the greatest like hype promos. Like when you think of hype promos for WWE with Limp Bizkit, all that
Yes.
background my way. Uh,
Hmm.
this match was fantastic, and a lot of people don't regard it as like they say that the match was good, but the ending wasn't good. But I feel like the
I
ending,
enjoyed it. Like,
yeah, I feel like the ending was fantastic. It's just
mhm.
everything after it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Stone Cold's heel turn wasn't, it was whatever, but the actual heel turn itself was fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
So I think it should be amazing.
Yeah, I was in between amazing and great, but yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed that match. Like, that's probably one of the most like that main event is. like I probably go to that main event the most, like to go back and watch. And
Yeah,
so
and when you think of like actual hype, you can't. There's not. I don't think there's any other ones that are going to top that.
yeah, like that I'd probably say that that like promo video that they did for that match is probably my favorite one out of like all the like, you know, hype videos we've gotten for a WrestleMania match, and I think that had like the best like hype video for it. You had the Limp Bizkit and the My Way, and it's like because with that song, it's like they try to like use that song in like feuds nowadays. Because I know I saw a
They
somebody
always recreate it.
yeah, they tried to use that song and some fan tried to put together a promo video for Reigns and Rhodes this year, and they used that song. So
Yeah, it's just yeah, it's a great capture of the time. It just represents early 2000s type music. Uh
yeah,
yeah,
hmm
but regardless, that match
amazing, amazing
itself,
for sure.
amazing.
Hmm
So on to WrestleMania 18. That's going to be Chris Jericho versus Triple H for the undisputed WWE Championship. Um, so Triple H did win this match. The match itself was very we'll see as we go along. Triple H in his main event matches, it does seem to be a pattern of a lot of his main event matches just weren't very good, honestly. I don't
Yeah, yeah, I
I
agree.
don't think I would classify this as bad, but it was a very middle of the road match.
I'd say mid. That's what
Yeah,
I.
I think I would put it mid as well. The build up to this too was, I mean, we're just talking about WrestleMania itself, but it deserves a special mention because the build up to that match was god awful. Uh,
Yeah,
Chris Jericho, like Stephanie had a dog and was making Chris like take care of it. The dog started like shitting everywhere, so he had to clean up his poop or whatever. He would get beat up every week. It
yeah.
just, yeah. And at least
It wasn't good at all.
a
Not good at all.
similar one was like Seth Rollins in 2015, where he was champion and still was kind of booked to look weak. But the Rollins would retain at the pay-per-view. Jericho won it in December, and then he got booked terrible going up to WrestleMania and then lost it.
Hmm
So, yeah, I think mid though. The match itself was okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so WrestleMania 19 is up next, and that is going to be Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. Uh, I think it was a good match. I love
Uh-huh.
this time period of SmackDown, well, WWE, but in particular SmackDown.
Yes.
Uh, Back in like 2015, I actually went through and watched maybe not every single, but almost every single WrestleMania into that or SmackDown in 2003. It was a great time period. I didn't obviously wasn't watching during that time, but all the storylines going on were fantastic. And yeah, I think this is one of my personal favorite WrestleMania main events.
Yeah, yeah. This is another one that I like to go back to because you got that one spot in the match where you know Brock
Yep.
Lesnar went for the shooting star press, and he just about broke his neck. He came close to breaking his neck doing
Yep.
that.
And he still continued. They had to wrap it up early, but he
Hmm
got through with it. Brock Lesnar, he won the match. I forgot what they did after. I think Lesnar, I mean, like you said, he didn't break his neck. I don't remember if he took time off, but the match itself was good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to put it at amazing or great. Um, I I think
Ooh.
I think
I
great.
was I was gonna say great, but I don't know. I like to me. I think it was good to me.
I I disagree. I would put it at great. Um, we can
We can go great. I mean, yeah. We
We
can
could
do.
see, I guess we reserve our right to switch it around because we still, we'll see as we go along what our thoughts are. But I think it's great.
Okay.
So on to WrestleMania 20, that's redacted. Chris Benoit versus Triple H versus Shawn Michaels for the World Heavyweight Championship. And obviously,
And
uh,
redacted one. Yeah.
yeah, this is I think it's a no-brainer. I would absolutely put this in amazing.
Yeah. Hmm.
We went back when we were like in person. Wasn't this like I think the only match we actually went back and watched when we were going through WrestleMania? We may have watched one other, but
Yeah, because I remember it was last year when you came over for WrestleMania 39, and it was like WrestleMania Saturday, and you had like came over, and we had like decided to go back and watch some old matches, and yeah, this was one of them. I think this is the only one that we, because I think we ended up watching this entire show, or not the entire thing, but we like skipped through some of the
uh
parts we want to
yeah,
see.
because we
But
watched Cena
yeah,
and Big Show as well. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
but I would definitely put it
yeah,
in
mm,
amazing. I
yeah,
think
it was amazing.
we'll go through obviously WrestleMania 30, very similar, but this was the prototype for that, the
Hmm.
original setup, and everything about this match was great, especially with the best part with Benoit winning the title, holding it up, and Eddie Guerrero comes out and celebrates.
Yes,
Just what a
man.
beautiful moment when you take apart everything that happened after that with Eddie passing away and Benoit. It was a fantastic moment, and
Yeah.
so yeah, I would put that amazing. WrestleMania 21 was up next, and that is Batista versus Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. Uh, what do you think about this? Batista didn't.
Yeah, Batista did win, and I will say the build up to this Triple H main event, and we were talking about the one with him and Chris Jericho was not good at all, but this build up was a lot better because you had Batista, uh, he was going to go sign his contract, I think, for SmackDown, and like held the thumbs up, and
Mm.
then he does that, and basically like, well, he didn't turn on Evolution, Evolution turned on him, but yeah, I mean, it's better than Triple H and uh, Jericho, but it's not as good as the triple threat match that we just talked about. So I would say it was good.
I agree. I would put it good as well. Uh, I think that so what kind of this match was great. It was good, I guess, but it was good.
Yeah,
It was a crowning moment for Batista. Like you said, the build up for it was fantastic. But the thing that kind of lowers it for me is that they did have a trilogy. Batista won all three of them, but their match at geez, I don't know what pay-per-view, not Armageddon. They had a
was it the Hell in a
pay-per-view.
Cell match?
Yes, it was in the Hell in a
It
Cell.
was Vengeance. Yeah, it was Vengeance.
Vengeance. Yes, and that was by far the best match.
Yes,
It was
yeah, that was by
so
far their best
brutal
match.
in that trilogy. So yeah, I would put it at good as well.
Yeah,
So next, WrestleMania 22, which was John Cena versus Triple H for the WWE Championship. I always get, like I said, WrestleMania 22 and 23's main events mixed up a little bit. But WrestleMania, this one, so John Cena ended up winning. I don't remember much about this one, to be honest. This is probably the one I remember the least about. I remember
I
more
do
about
remember
the
for the
entrance.
most part. What I do remember about this match is that the crowd was like very anti-Cena. Like they were all, I think everybody in the arena was cheering for Triple H in this. And this is kind of when like the hate kind of grew for Cena. And but yeah, I know Cena won by submission, and I I would probably put this in good. That's me though, because this is the one where he came out with the Tommy gun in his entrance. Cena did,
Yep,
and he
yep. This
hard.
one, Cena came out with the Tommy guns, and CM Punk was one of the people that was
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
card. And Triple H came out with the King of Kings entrance, and he had
Mm.
all the skulls and whatnot around him. It was like his entrance was really awesome as well. Um, I think I would put it as mid, but last one we did put it at great, so I think good is fair enough. I haven't
Yeah.
I
I
don't
thought it was good.
remember of all the WrestleMania main events, this is probably the one I remember the least. So yeah, good is fair enough.
Hmm.
So then WrestleMania 23, that
My
is when
first ever WrestleMania that I watched.
really,
Yeah.
re-
Hmm.
yeah, no, I wasn't watching just yet at that time, but I do know, I went back and watched it. It was a really good match. I don't know
It
if I
was
would
great in my opinion.
I was
Like,
about to, you would put it a tier above Triple H and Cena.
yes, for sure.
I think this is kind of the same thing I think of when I think of Batista and Triple H, in that Michaels and Cena was good, but their match on Raw that happened like a month later or something like that, it was in London, and it was the main event of Raw, and it went over an hour long.
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, when you like before we've been talking about with this gauntlet that's happened on Raw recently, how that, gauntlets sometimes go on for a while, but this was a singles one-on-one match,
Yeah.
not a title. And yeah, I think that match was better,
Yeah,
but
it
that
was.
match
Yeah.
I would probably put it amazing then. So I would agree that this is great.
Yeah. Yeah. If we were talking about that match that happened on Raw, then we put it in amazing. But yeah, I think great is a good spot for Cena versus Michaels.
Yeah. Okay, well then, so WrestleMania 24 is the next one, and that was Edge versus Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. Obviously with Undertaker's streak, Undertaker ended up winning this match. Uh, I feel like a broken record, like I'm saying this a lot, but another issue with this match is that this wasn't the best one of their rivalry. I think the
Yeah.
best one was their one at SummerSlam,
SummerSlam. Yep.
the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
I guess it's just because Hell in a Cell is just such a great match type. It's such a
Yeah.
great way to blow off a huge feud, It's to cap it off. Uh, they also had a TLC match, but I don't think that one was as good. So I think I would.
I'm gonna
Where
be
do you
honest
put
with
this?
you. The only thing that I really remember from this match is when Charles Robinson had to run down to the ring, and it took forever because the stage was the entrance ramp was like 100 yards long. But that's like the only thing I remember from that match, really.
Yeah, I don't know. You think it should go in good or mid?
Mm,
I feel like it should.
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like
To me, I feel like good is like too high for that match. But like that's just me. And
I
I
think I
mean,
would put it in good. I would put it, I think, on all the same levels as the other ones that are with it. Because
yeah, yeah, I guess so. I mean,
that, I think that's a toss-up. I really think it's like in the middle of both. But
mm,
yeah, I think good. I think it was
yeah, we
still,
can do good.
yeah, I think it was an okay match. I think it's better than these other ones.
Oh, yeah. Well,
So
yeah,
one
true.
that I think
Yeah.
we can agree on, so is the next one, WrestleMania 25. It is Randy Orton versus Triple H for the WWE Championship. This match was terrible.
It was, yes.
Um,
I would think because
yeah.
I was, so this was in 2009. I was 9 years old. And I remember around this time, like my parents wouldn't let me like stay up super late during this time. And I think this is the main event that they told me I had to go to bed. So I wasn't able to watch it. But I mean, obviously I've gone back and watched it and yeah, no, it wasn't very good at all.
Well, it's just because they had such a like personal feud with all this stuff, like RKOing Stephanie McMahon, punting Vince, I mean kissing
You had
Stephanie
Triple
in
H
front of
break
Triple
into
H.
Randy Orton's
Yeah,
house.
he broke into his house, and then instead of doing, you would think it would inevitably lead to a like no holds barred or Extreme Rules or Hell in a Cell or something like that. And instead, it led to them going with the opposite, which was if Triple H gets disqualified, Randy Orton retains the WWE Championship. So it just put an unnecessary restriction on it. And it was
Mm,
so predictable. Everybody knew that Triple H was going to win this match at the time. This was the first WrestleMania I watched actually as it was happening live. I remember purchasing this one. Uh, and I think Undertaker and Shawn Michaels was obviously the match of the night for that one.
oh yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, I think this is definitely should be the first bad one.
Hmm. I agree with you on that one.
Okay, so then WrestleMania 26 is up next, and they did
Career
do
versus
Shawn Michaels
career.
and or Undertaker for this one, and obviously Undertaker still won. And this was the career versus streak match. So
Hmm.
this was if Shawn Michaels lost, he was retiring, and if he won, he beat the streak. I don't think this was as good as their 25 one. I know this is a
No,
very strong debate. A lot of people think the opposite because it did have the I do think the ending for this one was better with him like refusing to get right. That was this one, right? Where he ended up slapping him and then
yeah,
hit him with the tombstone. Yeah, I think that was this
yeah,
one.
it was this one. Yeah,
And that was a fantastic ending, but I think that 25's was I would definitely put 25 there in
and
count
amazing.
as amazing. But this one,
Yes,
I don't know. I might still put it as amazing. You think?
that's where I was going. Yeah,
I
amazing.
think they would both be amazing, but 25's would be like even more
Yeah.
amazing, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, I think amazing makes sense because it doesn't even feel right putting it as great.
No,
It
it doesn't. Yeah,
great cap
amazing.
off for
Yeah.
both of theirs. And the streak, this is one of the best, most memorable streak matches.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Yes,
putting that
yeah,
at
amazing.
amazing.
Perfect spot for that one.
And then next, we go on to the opposite, WrestleMania 27. The Miz versus John Cena for the WWE Championship.
This is another main event that I had to miss because I had to. I wasn't able to stay up late. So,
This
but
WrestleMania
I'm
was
glad I
terrible.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible, and kind of glad I didn't stay up for it because this main event wasn't very good. I mean, The Rock basically just like took over the whole spotlight.
Yeah, The Miz won, but it was entirely
Hmm.
due to The Rock. It
Yes,
originally ended in a double count out, and Miz actually got a very severe concussion during this match. He got like they went over the top or the barricade at ringside, and when he
hmm,
went over, his head bounced off the concrete floor, and
yes, yeah, I remember that.
he says he actually doesn't remember winning. So
Yeah, I've heard that too.
yeah, not a very good match.
No,
I think it should definitely go in that.
yeah, yeah, bad for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, so up next, WrestleMania 28. And I think of I'm torn between 28 and 30, but 28 is definitely one of the most like I have so many memories of this one.
Yeah, I do too.
Flow Rida being it, just the theme was not the actual theme song, but the theme of the like all the like they were in Florida. I loved the entrance ramp and all that. The color scheme for it was
Yes.
fantastic. I just maybe it's just nostalgia speaking, but I really loved this pay-per-view.
Yeah, I
And
did too. Like this is one of the WrestleManias that I like to go to a lot.
yeah, it just gives me good feelings. I don't know. It
Mhm.
was yeah, a good pay-per-view. And I felt like it was a good main event. I don't think I would put it in amazing though. I think I would put it as great.
Yeah, yeah, great for sure. I mean, I was thinking amazing, but I don't know.
I don't know if I don't think I would put that as amazing because when you look at all the other ones, they were great matches themselves. This match, you don't really think of the actual match itself. It's more just the hype, like the what's the word I'm trying to think of? The it was just so it was bigger than life, you know. Triple or
Yeah,
John Cena and The Rock once in a lifetime. At the
yeah,
time, this was a once in a
once,
lifetime.
yeah,
So, um, but I think the match itself, I would just put as great.
yeah, I would too.
Okay, so
Yeah, we can put that one in great.
and then next, WrestleMania 29, twice in a lifetime. The Rock versus John Cena. And this one, John Cena avenged his win, got the win back, and this one was for the WWE Championship. The other one was just non-title.
Yeah, not as good as 28 though.
Definitely not as good.
Not as good.
Uh,
I mean, this Mania in general wasn't very good in my opinion.
mhm.
But
I mean,
yeah,
Chris Jericho and Fandango,
yeah, and
Brodus Clay calling his mamas.
yeah,
Uh, CM Punk Undertaker, I think, was maybe not should have been the main event. I
but
have no
it
reason why
was
this
the
was the
best
main
match of
event,
the night.
but it was the best match. Yeah, for sure.
'Cause I think you had like I think the show opened with like the Shield versus Big Show, Sheamus, and Randy Orton, and I
Mhm.
think Big Show like turned heel afterwards.
Honestly, it was so memorable that I don't even remember that part. Possibly. I mean, Big
I
Show
think the
won
Shield
1,000
won,
heel
and
turns.
then
Yes,
yeah,
Show
Big Show either
won.
turned heel like during or I think it was after the match he turned heel and like just knocked both of them out. Sheamus
Yeah.
and
Either way, yeah, I agree. This pay-per-view wasn't very good.
yeah,
I don't know if I would put it as you think mid though. I don't think it was bad.
yeah,
I
it wasn't bad and it wasn't very good, so I would probably say mid.
I think
That's
mid
yeah.
is fair. The Rock also he tore his pec during that match.
Hmm.
Or yeah, I think it was his pec. He
Yeah,
got
it was.
got injured
I
during the
thought it
match.
was something with his stomach.
I, maybe. All I know is that he did get hurt during this match,
Mhm.
and that was a factor that, was
Like I want to say it was like
led to
an
this not being as
abdominal or
good.
something, like an abdominal stretch or
Maybe you could be right. I may just have them
that's what
mixed
it
up.
was. Yeah.
But either way, it did hinder the match quality.
Hmm.
So then up next, WrestleMania 30. And WrestleMania 30 is just a generational pay-per-view. It was just so many great matches on this card. And when I say that, I will admit that it was if you took Daniel Bryan out of the equation, it honestly wouldn't be as good of a pay-per-view. But Daniel Bryan had his match with Triple H in the beginning of the night. He
Great
ended
match.
up
It
winning that
was a great
match.
match.
Yes, it was. And it did have the streak, which obviously wasn't that good of a match per se, but the moment, oh
The
my.
moment. Oh my gosh, I'll never forget
So
watching that.
for this pay-per-view, I was with two friends at the time I was in middle school, and we went over to his house. We all saved up our money to purchase this pay-per-view because at the time it was still, $60 or $70 per pay-per-view. We watched this at his house, and the streak obviously we'll go into that another time. I could say a bunch about that match. Very shocking. But the main event, we were so happy. I had a Yes shirt, the gray one. I had a
Yeah.
Yes hand like towel thingy, the thing that he tucked into his tights whenever he came out.
Hmm.
And we were all huge fans of him. So seeing that this happened, oh, I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah, I do too. Yeah, it
Fantastic
good.
match. The
Yeah,
ending was great, very similar to Chris Benoit winning and celebrating at the end. I mean, he made the heel tap out, very similar.
yeah,
But I
because
would also
he
put
made
this as
Batista
amazing.
tap out.
You said what?
He made Batista tap out, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Batista tapped out. And this match had some great. I remember the RKO bomb too, where he ended
Oh
up.
yeah, Batista bomb into the RKO through the table.
Yeah, and they messed up because the
Yeah.
TV monitor was they didn't
Oh,
properly
dude,
remove it,
it
so it
was
went right
bad.
onto his back.
Oh, I remember that,
Yeah,
dude.
I
It
know that
was,
had to hurt. That's probably stuff like that's what's caused his back issues now when you think about it.
yeah, yeah,
But yes, I think this is undoubtedly the amazing tier.
yeah, for sure. I mean,
I don't know if it's better than WrestleMania 20s, but it's an argument, a solid
yeah,
argument. So then
that'd be
up,
a great debate.
yeah, I think so too. So WrestleMania 31, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship. Uh, Seth Rollins won.
Yeah,
So
he cashed in his money at the bank. Uh,
it was a
I
good
remember I
pay-per-view,
remember
but
watching this with it was me, my parents, and my brother. And my brother now, he isn't a wrestling fan. Like every time I try to talk to him about it, he's like, blah blah blah, oh, it's so stupid. But he was really into it during this time, and Seth Rollins was his favorite. And I remember when Seth Rollins came out and cashed in, he was like jumping up and down and just like cheering, and I was like,
oh, I was too. Yep. Rollins was my favorite at the time.
see,
Um,
see, I was a huge Reigns fan at this time, and I mean, I liked Seth Rollins, but I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of him. So when he cashed in, I was like, "Dang it, dude!" Oh my gosh.
I
So
lost my mind when his music hit for him to cash in.
yeah,
Now, it was a great moment, but I don't think I would consider it that good of a match. I think
yeah, no,
maybe I'm between good and mid. I think good should be the
yeah.
ranking.
I think good. See, if it wasn't for the Rollins
Yeah.
cash in, I'd put it in mid, but good. Yeah, it
Yeah, I
deserves.
think sorry, yeah, I think good is fair. The match itself was okay, but the moment itself with Rollins cashing in, yeah, like you said, brings that to the good tier.
Mhm.
So next, WrestleMania 32, and that is Triple H versus Roman Reigns for the
You can just go
WWE.
ahead and slide that one right to the bad
Yeah,
section.
I agree for sure. This was a terrible
Oh
pay-per-view.
gosh, yeah.
Um, geez, I remember watching this match live as well, and there's just geez, like 29 at least had like CM Punk and Undertaker, but like when I think of this pay-per-view 32,
The
I
match of the night for that night was the Intercontinental Ladder match that opened the show.
I think it was a women's fatal four-way.
Oh shoot, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it was triple threat.
Triple threat. Yes, triple
It,
threat.
it was Becky, Sasha, and Charlotte. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
How did I forget about that? I don't know, but
I think
yeah.
that was the best match of the night. The Intercontinental was okay, but even then, the year before that was better.
Hmm.
So yeah, but this main event was just so trash.
Very.
Roman Reigns was at this time not booked very good. He didn't grow it. He hadn't yet grown into what he is now.
Yeah,
And we all knew that Triple H was going to end up losing this match. He was just being built up just to drop it to Roman Reigns. And they tried to do stuff during this match. There was Stephanie getting knocked off the apron through a table. That was the first
no,
time they
no, she got speared.
she got maybe speared off the apron through the table.
No, no, no. You're thinking of WrestleMania 33 when it was Triple H and no, Triple H and Seth Rollins. She got knocked off the apron through a table, but this one she got speared by
Hmm.
Roman Reigns.
Okay, well, yeah, regardless. Yeah, maybe it was. But this was the first time they've done like man on woman violence in quite a long time, and they kind of just did that to add a pop to it because it was very lukewarm reception during the match. And it ended how we all knew it was going to end. Roman Reigns
Yeah,
won this match and moved on. So
mm,
yeah, I would put it as bad though, for
yeah,
sure.
it was bad. It was very bad.
So then next, WrestleMania 33, Roman Reigns versus Undertaker. Roman Reigns won this match. And yeah, once again, I think this is going to go in bad tier.
Yep,
Uh,
go ahead and do it.
Even when I think like this, one of the most notable things about this match is when Undertaker's documentary was released, he was so ashamed of his performance and
Yeah,
how
yeah,
bad
I
he did
remember
during this
that.
match. So when the one of the people involved in it like despise this match, you know it's not a very good match. It was
Roman Reigns didn't look very happy either whenever he like pinned Undertaker. I mean, he looked kind of pissed too. Like I think he
yeah,
knew the match wasn't very good, and it wasn't at all.
It was a
Like one of
very
the
disappointing ending. Yeah.
yeah, because I think one of the spots I remember from this match, I think it was the Undertaker was trying to power bomb Reigns through a table and ended up getting speared through it. I believe it was one of the announcers' tables. I think that's the spot, or maybe I
I
got it
honestly
mixed
don't
up.
remember this match very well. I did watch it live, but it was,
Yeah, I did too.
yeah, very.
I hated Reigns during this time. Yeah.
So you loved his promo the next night.
Oh gosh,
This is
dude.
my yard
'Cause I
now.
remember we met later this year, and we'd always talk about this, like his promo, like that night after,
Mhm.
and he sucks, and you'd always be like, oh, I mean, he's working the crowd, and I'd always be, no, he sucks, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good times, but not a good match.
No,
So next is WrestleMania 34, and that's Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. And I feel like we're going too much in the bad category, but I
but
think it was a bad match. I don't think
yeah,
it was
yeah,
very
it
good.
was. The blood
Um,
wasn't very good that they tried to do.
yeah, and it was didn't they get caught using a capsule for that match too? Or was that another match during that same time period? Maybe that was a different one.
I think it was that match. The only thing I really remember from this is what happened afterwards when Brock Lesnar was walking
Came
through
back. Yep.
and he threw the title at Vince.
Yeah, it's once again they were on a very unfortunate string of bad main events, and
Hmm.
that just continued it. So yeah, I would put it as bad. I don't think very notable match. And yeah, just kind of a letdown. So next is WrestleMania 35, and that was the triple threat for the what was it? Was it winner take all? So yeah, Raw
Yeah, yeah,
and
it was winner take
SmackDown
all.
Women's
Hmm.
Championship. Uh Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. Becky Lynch won this match, and I don't I don't know if I would put this in good or mid. I
I'd put it in mid, but
It was definitely
well,
I
no,
definitely wouldn't put it as bad,
no,
but
I wouldn't put it
it,
as bad. Honestly, I mean, I don't know, because I think I remember this match. I think for us it was like 11 o'clock at night. It was like super late.
right before they went to the two-night one, this was the
Yeah,
last one, and it felt like forever.
yeah, it was. But I don't know. I'm kind of torn between good and mid. I mean, Becky winning was obviously a great moment. I loved her during this time. I mean, I still do, but
I think I would put it as mid
yeah, yeah.
because it was an okay match. The ending wasn't terrible, but it wasn't that memorable of a match itself,
I
like
think
all the
I
stuff
think they
around it.
botched the ending some
Yes, they
way.
did. Yep.
Yeah.
Because Ronda Rousey went for her, I forgot what her finisher is, the one where she has her on top and spins them with like that
Mhm.
takedown. And she, I think, hit her with a roll up during it. And they messed up that sequence and it just looked off. And that was the final move in the main event of WrestleMania. So kind of did add a, yeah, not good cap off to this match. And
Yeah, it was.
I think mid is fair, but I could see an argument for it being good because Becky Lynch's push during this time, she was so over. And this was a good, I'm glad they went with this. Any other Ronda or Charlotte winning would have not been the right decision. So at least they had the right person win. But
Mm,
yeah, I think mid is ultimately the best one.
yeah.
So then next we are going to this is when it starts with WrestleMania 36 begins with two night events. And so we'll go with night one starting out, and that was Undertaker versus AJ Styles in the what do they call it? Boneyard match is what
Yeah,
it was.
boneyard match, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would put this in amazing.
Amazing.
Yes, dude. I love this
Mm,
match.
I,
I think I think this match. I mean, I'm glad they did it this way because I don't think it'd be as good if they did like a regular one-on-one match.
mhm.
But
I
Dude.
agree. They definitely did do because at this time, another factor too that has to be considered is that this was the first one that was actually affected by the pandemic. So this
Mhm.
one was not there was not a crowd there. So they had to work around that. And Undertaker versus AJ Styles with how old Undertaker was and how there was going to be no reaction whatsoever, they definitely did do right by making this a cinematic match. This was a
And it was
experience
amazing in my
match.
opinion. Like,
I don't know.
what would you put it at then?
I would put it as great.
As
I mean, just because when
I
you
mean, we
think
can go
about,
with great, but like,
you would put that in the same tier as The Rock and Stone Cold,
I mean,
and
yeah,
and
I guess so.
Bryan winning at WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, I guess I would.
I guess since I have a few of them we have been torn between and we have went with the one I have thought, I guess we'll put in amazing, but
I
I'm
really like
pretty
that match was
convinced that I would put
fun.
in great. But
Well,
I could still understand the argument.
yes.
And I definitely do think we can agree that it is for what they had to work with, it was for sure the best thing they could have done. And it
Hmm.
was a good match. It was definitely a good match. It was more like a movie than a match, though.
Yeah, and it was an amazing movie.
Hmm.
But that's just me. But yeah, I
Okay,
think
so for night two, Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. Um,
amazing.
so Drew McIntyre did win this match, but
Mm-hmm.
I have very mixed feelings about this because on one hand, this was Drew McIntyre's moment where he finally reached the top. But it was, like I said, during the pandemic, so there was no crowd. So there wasn't really anybody to celebrate with him. And the match itself was only like, I think like it was under 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I think it was close to
match
5 minutes.
itself wasn't very good, and dude, it
Yeah.
makes me so mad when I think about this match because I was supposed to be go like we had tickets to this Mania, me and my dad. Like I got tickets to this Mania for Christmas, and like we had our tickets, we had our hotel booked, I think, and then COVID happened, so we didn't get to go. And man, I remember I was pissed off like watching this because like I was supposed to be there, and
That's
but the match,
such
yeah.
unfortunate timing.
Yes, it was. But yeah, the
We could
match
absolutely
was
be looking at this in a different light if it happened in front of a crowd.
hmm
But yeah, I don't know if I would. You think mid or bad?
I'd put it in. I don't think it was bad.
Yeah, I think I would put it
It
in
it
mid. I
wasn't
think I
good
agree.
either, but yeah, mid. I would go with mid.
Yeah, I agree. And then, I mean, if we're being technical, the main event was Drew McIntyre and Big Show, right?
Oh yeah,
But I guess since this was the one that aired as the main event, because that match aired the next night on Raw as like
yeah.
like the after WrestleMania match, which made no sense. But um, they were experimenting with what they could do at the time, and this match was just a Brock Lesnar formula match, like they did with Lesnar and Goldberg, but it didn't have the crowd to feed off of it. So, yeah, I would put it as mid.
hmm
So, on to WrestleMania. Geez, WrestleMania, what is this? I
37,
get confused with all of these. Yeah, WrestleMania
37.
37. And this one was I don't think at the time was this one in front of a full capacity or but I think this was still limited capacity, wasn't
It,
it?
it, it was it was limited capacity.
Yeah, okay. So they did have a crowd here, but it wasn't as big as most WrestleManias are. They were still trying to, at this time, COVID was not as big of an issue as it was for the WrestleMania prior, but it was still a consideration. So we did at least have the crowd. I remember being very grateful for that at the time. But
Hmm
but this WrestleMania was still I honestly get these two WrestleManias mixed up like all the time.
Yeah, yeah, I do too sometimes. Yeah.
Like yeah, a lot of these matches are very very forgettable. And so we kind of go with that theme. WrestleMania 1 was Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bianca Belair won this match. I don't really remember much about this match. I
I I really don't either.
I don't know if I don't think it's fair to put it as mid though if I
I
don't
don't
remember
even think
much
I
about
watched night one this year. I think I was out doing something, but yeah, I don't even think I watched night one that year.
it. Yeah, I think I would put it as mid because when I think about
Yeah,
mid those other matches, like I don't I say that I could understand an argument for both of these because it wasn't, I don't remember it, but at the same time, I don't remember it. So that means it must have not been that good, right?
yeah. I
So,
remember because I remember like the whole like story around this. You know, it was like first ever like I think they used it like they said that it was like the first two like black women to main event a WrestleMania, and but I mean the
yeah,
match
it
was
was, and the ending was good. Bianca Belair finally got her moment. That's the thing I remember about this,
yeah.
oh, and also obviously her hitting her with with her hair, like the
Oh yeah,
blade. She got her right in the ribs, and that did
yeah,
a big mark. I thought that was cool. But
yeah.
yeah, this was kind of just like the rest of this WrestleMania, just kind of forgettable.
Because I do remember whenever Bianca Belair won, Michael Cole actually thought that Sasha Banks kicked out. Like he was kind of like surprised for a second that Bianca Belair won.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
it was
remember
okay.
I think they showed like Belair's like parents in the crowd, and they almost like jumped over the barricade. That's another thing that I remember. But yeah, mid is I think it deserves to be in the mid category.
So this was another night two WrestleMania event. And so night two was a triple threat for the Universal Championship. And that was Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan versus Edge. Um, so Roman Reigns, obviously, with all his stuff, he still has that title 3 years later. Uh,
Yeah,
it was a good match. It was obviously the thing that everybody remembers about this match was the
it's
ending.
the stack. Yeah.
He beat them both up. I don't remember if I think he speared both of them, and then he stacked them up and pinned both of them, yes, simultaneously.
I want to say he speared one of them and then hit the concerto on the other one,
That
and
sounds
then
about right. That makes sense. And
yeah, I think that's how it was. Yeah.
I do remember the ending, or not the ending, but the spot where they both locked Roman Reigns in it was a double crossface, and they were using a bar to, like, they had it in his mouth, and they were
Oh
both
yeah.
trying to make him tap, and then they realized it, they were looking at each other, and then they started hitting each other during it. So kind of
Yeah, yeah.
flashbacks to I think that also a similar spot happened at WrestleMania 20. Uh
Mm, I think so.
and so it did have its good spots, but I think I would put it as good. I don't think I would
Yeah,
put it as great. But
yeah,
it also
yeah.
wasn't.
No, yeah. It was definitely better than that year's night one main event for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think good's pretty fair.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good to spot. Good. Yeah,
So up next is WrestleMania 38. 38, yeah.
yeah,
And
yes.
so
38.
night one was Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold. Uh, so I actually didn't watch this match live.
I didn't either.
I don't remember why. I think I just fell asleep or something like that. But Stone Cold did win this match, and honestly, I think I would put this at mid. I don't think it was bad, but with Stone Cold's health condition, he couldn't take any bumps. So there was like
Mm,
practically no offense for Owens. He may have gotten like a hit or two in. I don't really remember if he did get any offense in, but it was just there as the final hurrah for Stone Cold. So
yeah,
I don't think it was bad per se because I don't have any negative thoughts about it, but I would definitely put it as mid.
yeah. I'd have to put it in mid too, sadly. But yeah, this. Yeah,
So
because I
then,
remember. 'Cause I remember at the time, if she was my girlfriend, now she's my wife. I was at her house this night, I remember I had to like drive back to my house, and it was during this. So I got home, I think like right as this ended, and I had to like go back and watch it. Yeah, but yeah, the match, yeah, it was all right, but yeah, I'd probably put it in mid.
Yeah, it was okay. But we're going so WrestleMania night two, another two-night event, and night two was Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the
Once
WWE
again.
Championship. And this is where Roman Reigns started his stranglehold on both the titles unified together.
Hmm.
And this was an okay match. I'm torn between good and mid. I think I would put it as good.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it was definitely better than their 30 their 34 match, and I mean it
34. Yeah.
was
No,
just as good as
oh, 34. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and it was just as good as their one at 31. So
I feel like it was just as good too. I agree with that, but for different reasons. Like I felt like
mhm,
31's was more memorable, but this
yeah,
one's the actual match itself was better. I don't
yeah,
remember it as much because their match, I think it was SummerSlam this year, or was it 22? Was it 23? Their last man
SummerSlam,
standing match.
SummerSlam of 2022.
Okay, well that one was a lot better than this match.
Yeah, it was.
But at the time, I remember watching this and thinking it was a pretty good match. It did exceed my expectations. So, yeah, I think good is a fair one for that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so on to our most recent WrestleMania, and that is WrestleMania 39. Obviously, some good memories. We watched this. I went over to your house and we watched this live. Uh, so night one was for the Unified Tag Team Championships. It was the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And ooh, this was a banger.
It was. It was.
I geez. Okay, so I would I don't know. I think the match quality was fantastic. Now, I could definitely see an argument for it being just great and not amazing because it didn't have the stuff around it wasn't as good. It was kind of just there because I think it was because it was overshadowed by night two's main event. This
Yeah,
was
yeah,
kind of just the exciting match, but it wasn't the main course. It was an appetizer. So I still think I would put it as amazing though. Maybe
yeah.
I was biased. I
Yeah,
could
I would too,
understand
because
though either.
it's funny. Like right before we were starting to record this, like a couple hours ago, I saw a clip from this match, and it was when Sami Zayn kicked out of the 1D,
Yep.
and that's why when I watched it again, it like gave me like chills just
Ah,
thinking about
jeez. And seeing Sami Zayn, I love Sami Zayn so much.
it.
And Kevin Owens is, I mean, I don't, Sami Zayn has always been one of my favorites. And seeing them finally get that moment was just so amazing
Together.
to see.
Mhm.
So yeah, yeah, I think amazing is fair enough.
Yeah, yeah, I'd put it in amazing.
But I could understand people saying good as well.
Hmm.
Uh, so our final, most recent one, night two for this WrestleMania. That's Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship. Uh, geez. So, man, I feel like I'm just basing this ranking off of what people want me to say. I think it was amazing.
Yeah,
Now,
well,
the ending is what obviously is going to make this so contested because the match itself was a banger, but
yeah, it
it's the
was. It
ending that
definitely
people
was.
debate.
And I'll never forget how excited we were when Roman Reigns returned, and now like a year later, we kind of want Cody to win, but
It was, I remember being lightheaded because of how loud I screamed. I was like, yes. We were
yeah,
going into it like we were meeting our doom. It was like, I remember
yeah,
saying
no,
it like the night
uh,
before and leading up to it. I was like, are you ready for your Reigns to lose these titles? Like, this is
yeah,
it. Appreciate it while we can.
Yeah,
And
dude, man, I
then
so wish we would have got a reaction to that
yes, I
moment
just
on
so
video.
crazy.
Oh,
Uh geez, I could understand amazing or good. Um, I think, man, I want to put it
I
at
put it
amazing.
at great. I
You think great?
Yeah, yeah. Now I know there's a lot of people that are probably
The,
gonna watch this and they'll
Mhm.
be like, "Oh no, it was Cody should have won. It was bad." But no, like the match, like it was a great match. Like,
The match was so what I think I can agree with that. I can go with that. I think great is fair. But I think the match I would put as amazing, but all the convoluted stuff at the end, because even I wanted Roman Reigns to win, and I was glad he won. But
mhm.
with all the stuff with Solo coming out and oh, the crossroads Cody just looked so stupid. He hit
Yeah,
him
I know,
once,
dude.
he hit
He,
him twice, and then he got up, and it was obviously just a communication error between the people involved. But he went there and then stood there, and Paul Heyman stood up on the apron to distract the ref, and then he looked at Paul Heyman
and
for
then backs up to the corner,
no, well,
like,
he before he even backed up, he went over, he went to the center of the ring and then started backing up to the side where Solo was gonna come. So he
mhm.
just looked like a complete idiot.
Yeah, he did.
So the ending I can absolutely understand. So I think that fair enough would bring it down to great. I
Yeah,
still think it was a great match though. I
yeah, I
think
do too.
the
I
match
do too.
itself was fantastic. So
Mhm.
I think it should be great. I could
Yeah,
understand
sure.
though, based on your opinion, it being amazing, great, or even good. I disagree with that, but
Yeah,
I think great is a good in between for that.
yeah, I do too.
Okay, so this we have done our first tier ranking. This we will be doing a lot more coming up. We will be making we have a few of them that would sound interesting that we will be doing posting soon within the next few days of this. But this will be our tier ranking for the WrestleMania main events from 2000 to 2023. Uh, yeah, I think this is a pretty fair representation of them.
Mhm.
Let me know what you guys think down in the comments if anybody disagrees, because with this many main events and this many you know, crazy build-ups, endings and whatnot, there are going to be a lot of different opinions. There's probably people watching that are going to be like, what an idiot. Why would you put it here? It should be clearly somewhere else. So if you do
Yeah,
disagree, let us know. I would be open to seeing at least what other people think about this list and how accurate that is to their opinion.
yeah, I would too. I had fun doing this, and I look forward to doing more of these. It was, I mean, like you said, we found quite a few on this website that we thought would be interesting to do a tier list, tier ranking on. So yeah, we'll do a few of those, and we'll have some more uploaded. But make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe. Join the greatest city in the world, Wrestling City. I mean,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
yeah, and while you're at it, hit that bell so you don't miss the video. And yeah, let us know in the comments down below what you thought and if you'd move anything around. Yeah, that's pretty much
All
it.
right. Yeah, we will see you guys. I guess at this point we will upload this around the time of our like our podcast. So I assume our next video will be that. So we will see you guys again on Saturday.
Yeah, see ya.